Hi everyone. So, I'm going to discuss chapter 5. Chapter 5 is all about commerce. So, what is commerce? Commerce deals with the activities involved in buying and selling things. So, the commerce business model. The commerce business model entails the initiation, negotiation, and or settlement of transactions over the internet. Its aim is an online-based supplement or even substitution of traditional phases of a transaction. The business model can be further subcategorized into the business model types e-attraction, e-bargaining, or e-negotiation, and e-transaction. E-tailing as a further type covers the entire process of selling goods and services to to consumers over the internet. So, to make the commerce business model clear, here's the model. So, oops. So under commerce, there's e-attraction, e-bargaining, or e-negotiation, e-transaction, and e-tailing, which I'll talk about later. So e-attraction. In this in this context, the design, marketing, and placement of advertising space on the internet is the core of the activity that is offered by internet attraction providers. Marketplace operators generate revenue primarily through retailing or commissions from providers for the goods traded through their platform, and in some cases, charge monthly fees for their services. Data mining is also part of e-attraction. It is used to effectively push ads to the right people. So, I think it will be clear if I'd give examples of e-attraction. So e-attraction is your standard ads in YouTube. So here I think this is a popular ad. And so what else? So e-attraction also deals with commissions. So let's say your favorite content creator has this affiliate link. When you click this, they get a kickback. So they get commissions if ever you click on this link. And this link would lead you to the online retailer store like Amazon or eBay or whatever else. So now we move on to e-bargaining or e-negotiation. So the business model type of e-bargaining slash e-negotiation focuses on the negotiation of business transactions in the case of a given product or service. The price or purchasing conditions are often considered to be important parameters to be negotiated. Essential pricing services are auctions and the search for the cheapest product or service, so price seeking. Auction service providers, in contrast, mainly generate revenue from transaction related fees. These are the kinds of auctions. So you got the seller, you got the buyer. So let's say you have one seller and one buyer. So an auction is not applicable if there's only one seller and one buyer. If there's one seller and multiple buyers, what's gonna happen is a forward auction is gonna happen. Now let's say when there are multiple sellers but there's only one buyer, so that's a reverse auction. And when there are multiple sellers and multiple buyers, what's gonna happen is a double auction. It was pretty hard to find a popular website that does reverse auction, but let's just think of a reverse auction as a government bidding. So it's pretty common that a reverse auction happens during a government bidding. And okay, next. So a forward auction. So a forward auction deals with one seller and multiple buyers. So a popular forward auction site would be eBay. So here's an example, and then that's it. So double auction. So double auction isn't it's not common, but it's still used almost every day. And the best example for a double auction is the stock market. So here we see the stock market. This is the bid and ask table. So basically what this means is the bid column, this is where this means buyers, and ask means this means sellers. So It's like sellers are asking for this price so they could, give it away, while the buyers are, bidding for some other price so that they can buy it. E-transaction. The business model type of e-transaction relates to the handling of transactions on the internet. E-transactions involve payment, processing, and delivery. So, an example of e-transaction would be, your LBC, your GCash, or PayPal. Your credit cards can also e-transact. So these are examples of e-transaction. Before heading to e-tailing, so I just want to show it again, the commerce business model. So e-tailing deals with e-attraction. It collates everything. So it has e-attraction, e-bargaining slash e-negotiation, and e-transaction. So a popular e-tailing website would be Amazon. For our local counterpart, an example that I could give is our Shopee and Lazada. So these are our own. So in the Philippines, we in a way we there are e-tailing commerce websites. Now let's talk about value chain, core assets, and competencies. So for this part, I got some definitions from the internet to make it simpler, but I got some of the examples from the book. So first, value chains. So a value chain is a step-by-step business model for transforming a product or service from idea to reality. Value chains help increase a business's efficiency so the business can deliver the most value for the least possible cost. So this is the example of the value chain model in the book. Um, this is just one example, but there are other value chain models out there, but this is what's shown in the book. So I'll be explaining each one by one. Offer design. So in the book it says assortment design and determining target group. To make it simple, what I was thinking of, you just have to ask the question, what is your target market? So is it for kids, adults, teens, doctors, students? What's the who is the product for? So to somehow visualize this, I was thinking of chairs. So in the market we have different sorts of chairs. So here on the left, it this would usually be for business people. Now here on the right, this would be targeted for gamers. So when you create a product, you have to think, for who is this product for? Who am I trying to sell this product to? So offer presentation. So it says here shop design, product presentation, service design, experience design. For an e-commerce, offer presentation is simply UI, user interface, and user experience along with advertising. So an example of this would be Shopee. So here's the UI. And then when you click, when you buy something, it's all part of the user interface and the user experience. When they advertise a product, you got the picture here on the left, and then you can look at multiple pictures that are available. So this is offer presentation. Marketing transaction initiation. So here in the book, it's it says here interconnectedness, brand development, customer acquisition, sales activities. So marketing and transaction initiation are pretty broad terms. So if I were to put it simply together, so these two are the process of how the product becomes a reality and how it reaches the potential customer. So it's pretty broad. Marketing deals with not only advertisements, but it deals with the how a product is made and how it's pushed to the customer. So it deals with a lot of factors. So here's a picture of marketing. So marketing is a broad subject. Completion, price setting. So in the book it says contract finalization, price determination, payment handling, distribution. So to me, basically it's transactions between buyer and seller. Also involves how the customer receives the product. So this involves, you know, how we how the customer and the seller would transact, and it also deals with how are you gonna deliver the product? Is it gonna be face to face? Is it gonna be through a delivery service? So this is completion and price setting. Next part is after sales services slash CRM. So it says here in the book customer relationship management and customer data management. So basically this is, after sales support and customer data management. So a way to think about this is, warranty, or when you call your local ISP for help. So that's after sales services. Now in the book stresses over customer data management. So it's important for an e-commerce site to save customer data. So you're saving customer data so that the user doesn't have to input the data later on. And what you want with the data, if you choose to do so, you can do analytics, you can do whatever you want with it, as long as you're following the law with regards to data privacy and all that. So that's after sales service and CRM. Core assets. Core assets include all assets including essential, important, or valuable property, without which a company cannot carry on with its normal operations and remain profitable. Core assets are required to help the company generate revenue. So think of core assets as something you own. Core competencies. Core competencies are the resources and capabilities that comprise the strategic advantages of a business. So these are core competencies are things you can do as a business. So I have a picture of a pencil. So let's say you own a pencil. Now the thing is, what can you do with a pencil? So with what you can do, this is your competency. So let's say a pencil would be your asset, but what you do with it, let's say you do calligraphy or you draw a picture, that's what you're competent at. Another example I can give of asset and competency would be, computers. So let's say you have computers. What are you gonna do? What's your company gonna do with computers? Are you gonna do AI? Are you gonna do some e-commerce site, or are you gonna rent your servers out? So these three are competencies. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you.